All right. I guess you're looking at me to start off.
Yeah, well, I mean, happy Independence Day. I mean, we're a few days past that, but last week was the lead up to Independence Day.
We are squarely into our 248th year.
That's right.
Happy birthday, America. And to all the British, I'm glad you got to work on Thursday last week.
That's good. Hey, as a follow-up to last week's show, I didn't tell you this, but I was informed from Amazon. Remember that product Chris put on the screen, the doggy cloth helmets?
Oh, okay.
The sales went through the roof after that show. We got a commission check coming our way. Small one, a few cents.
Really?
But well, the sales spiked. They spiked after that show.
I know Chris at Casthead's pretty brilliant.
Yeah,
and he probably want to put that in the comments and the show notes and the link clicks and the affiliate commission and stranger things have happened.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch episode 149. My mom said it was hysterical. So if my mom says it's hysterical, it's funny.
I'm trying to remember why we had the puppy years.
Because we were talking about fireworks. And then I said should have, there should be some sort of, earmuffs for dogs. And Chris, the wonderful producer Chris he found the product.
I think we're going to please the people 2 weeks in a row here with our guest this week.
This is true.
Yep. We're going to see a spike, but it's going to be in the ohs and the in the heartwarming.
You feel it right here.
Feelings.
Yeah. There's a different one. Yeah, quieters.
Very good.
Look at the guy on the left, or the guy, gal, whatever on the left. Looks constricted. Feels like
that's a dog that has long known that their owner and human friend puts them in these bad photo shoots and positions. It's
like the code of shame.
They're just like, you know what? Like, look, I get you give me a bed and you got a comfy sofa and you allow me to come into your bedroom and you feed me, but this is a little much. The purple thing around my ears, if I could tell you, I would say I've had enough and walk out.
Right.
That's what the dog would be saying right there, I think.
My goodness. Mine
have learned when I get the camera out that they know I'm taking a photo and they turn away.
Oh, you get the butt shot?
No, they just turn away.
They're like, no, thank you.
They're just like, yep, nope. I see what you're doing. No more of this.
Now, are you asking permission of your dogs to post them on social media? Maybe that's what they're looking for. You need to say, now Zeus, sit still.
Zeus,
can I take a picture of you and put you on Facebook? And maybe he will go, yes.
Yep, Zeus and Gizmo don't like it. They don't like it at all. I get the first one, but if I try to get other ones, I have to do it where I have to whip the phone out where I know I can get the shot I want. Otherwise, you get one shot. Otherwise, they're just like, no, I don't want this.
It's kind of like taking pictures of kids. Yeah, you might get one out of like 20.
If anybody else, I know people are watching. People watch our show. They listen to our show, which, by the way, you can watch on all the social channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. You can listen on all the podcast players because we're on all of them. If you happen to be catching this live or after the fact, put it in the comments. Does your teenager ever frustrate you with photos? Like, can we not just get a smile the first time? Right. Can they not just understand that if they just do a nice smile the first time, it's over? That's it. That's the bargain.
Yeah.
One smile, one photo, done. You can get back to doing what you were doing before, which was largely nothing. Yeah. So anyway,
it feels like you've experienced this.
Hashtag teenager smiles. Yeah, I bought my son a very nice pickup truck this weekend, and
nice blue truck.
I will, to his credit, I did get a very nice smile.
Yes, I thought he did a nice job standing next to the truck.
One shot, one time. It's like the dog in the bargain. Like, I know what you're going to ask me, Dad, so I'm going to give it to you once, and then that was it.
Right.
That was it. Anyhow, speaking of all the emotions and all the feelings and all the warm feelings and people who make all of that happen, I think, like, what a great transition to welcome John Plummer from Delaware Valley Golden Retriever Rescue.
Oh, there.
Hey, guys. Made it happen.
Made it happen, yeah.
This is Nauman. It's John and Nauman. Nauman is this guy's name.
Nauman. Love it.
What's up, Nauman? Can Nauman hear us?
No, you can't. No.
Not. All right.
He doesn't have
right. Yeah, because you're listening.
Maybe you guys need to develop doggy headset.
There we go.
Podcast with the dogs.
Yeah.
So we want our pets to pose for photos, and we want them to hear the humans and respond to the human that
There
they've
you go.
never met through a microphone.
Yes, of
Dog
course.
doesn't ask for much in this world.
I know what our fans want. That's what they want.
Heidi, thank you for joining us. Heidi is a wonderful volunteer and adopter, serial adopter. Sorry, I know
She
what that's
is.
like. Serial adopter there at Delaware Valley Golden Retriever Rescue. So, tell it, what kind of dog exactly is Naman? Because I'm not. What do we got going on there?
So Naman is a mini golden doodle. He's, I think, like 23, 24 weeks old. He just got too old to sell. The breeder couldn't sell him. So the breeder reached out to us and said, can you take him? And he came in with his brother. His brother was adopted about 4 weeks ago. And he does have an appointment this week, but he's a sweet guy. He just loves to be held, loves to be cuddled. And that's his story. So really, nothing wrong with him. He just was too old to sell. People looking for the cute little 8-week-old bundles of fluff and fur. And then when they get a little older, people pass on them. And that's how we got Naman.
Yeah.
Now, is that about the size Naman will be?
Yeah, he's pretty much getting to be full grown. He might grow a couple more inches, but being a mini doodle, and that's one of the breeds. We are Golden Retriever Rescue, but we also do Golden Doodles, and we do Labrador Retrievers when space permits, and also Labradoodles as well.
Got it. Well, I hope the appointment goes well for Naman. And if not, I'm sure you all will help find an equally great home for him.
How can you not love Naman?
Yeah,
He's
we keep saying we don't know why people are passing him up, but
the right person just hasn't come along yet.
that's exactly it. That's what we keep saying. The right person's out there for him, and hopefully his appointment this week will go well, and they're the right people. We'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome. He reminds me of the kind of pup. If it's more comfortable to put him down, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to pass him up.
Yeah.
Bye, Naman.
Thanks. Got him.
We did that for all of our fans, folks. We gave you the puppy. So, no,
Rating
Naman looks like
rating spiked right there, right, guys?
That's right. Well, we're going to make a reel out of that one for sure. But he looks like the kind of dog that you see in those snippets of video of, the husband didn't want a dog, was upset in the first 10 to 15 minutes of having the dog. And then later in the day, there he is laid back in the recliner with him, cuddling on, sleeping on the couch. The dog's head is right there, cuddled up in bed. I'm totally not that person.
Right. Yeah, Zeus doesn't cuddle him dead, right?
Zeus is my wife's dog.
Okay.
He's a big 70-ish pound pit bull, sits on the recliner at her feet, cuddles right up to her. He will not do that with anybody else. When we go to the campsite, he will not come onto my side of the bed and sleep on my side. He is my wife's dog.
Well, that's your problem. That's why he won't sit still for a picture for you. I'm sure he will for her.
He won't do it for
No.
her.
Well,
Not that he's not that much of her dog, I don't think.
Zeus.
So, John, how'd you get involved with DVGRR?
So my history with DVGRR goes back almost 28 years. I started as a volunteer back in 1996, and I was volunteering, doing some things for the organization. And back then it was an all-volunteer organization. My wife and I both got involved. She got on the board of directors, was asked to join. She was the treasurer for about 4 years and then moved into the role of the board chair. And I continued my volunteer duties with them. We had our first son back in 2001 and she stepped down. The board asked me to join the board of directors at that point, and I jumped on the board. And then I was a past board president, and I did that from 2007 through 2013. And in 2013, the then executive director asked if I would join the staff as the staff support and facilities manager. I came on board 10 years ago. It'll be 11 in November. And when the executive director resigned and retired in 2017, the board asked if I would step into the ED position, and here I am.
Wow.
Very cool. So 20 plus, 2 decades plus, actually 3 decades.
Almost, yeah. Almost
90s, 2000,
Yeah.
actually 4. We really get technical.
Yeah,
Not to date you or
DVGRR.
anything.
No, that's no. Believe me, I'm old. There's no, I can't do anything about that. But DVGR it's our 30th anniversary this year. So
Oh, wow.
we were
Congratulations.
founded in 1993 and incorporated in '94 as a nonprofit. So this is our 30th year. So it's a bit of a milestone for us, and we're
Yeah.
mighty proud.
Yeah.
John, where is DVGRR, and have you always been in that location?
Okay, yeah, good question. Our name is a bit of a misnomer. People call and say, "Well, you're located in Delaware, right?" And we're like, "No, we are in actually Reinholds, northeastern part of Lancaster County, 60 Veracruz Road, right there is the address." And we have started out as a foster-based organization, rescue, like a lot of rescues do. So from 1994 up until 2000, we were using the foster home model. And we found in the late 90s there, in 99, 2000, we had a lot of dogs looking to come into the program, and we did not have the foster homes for them. What happened was a lot of our foster homes ended up adopting the dogs they were fostering. Some people call those foster failures. We like to put a spin on that and call it a successful adoption. The problem, though, was once those dogs were adopted, then the foster home said, "Nah, you know what? I'm done." So this facility that we are at 60 Veracruz was a boarding facility. 2 gentlemen owned the facility. They lived in a house next door, and they were hand walking 65 dogs twice a day, 365 days a year. It just got to be too much for them. So they put the facility up for sale. We saw it. We asked them to pull it off the market for 3 months. We gave them a $20,000 non-refundable deposit and said, "Let us run a capital campaign and give us 3 months to do that. We will hopefully have a nice down payment, take out a mortgage of what's left over, and we'll purchase the property from you." And that's exactly what happened. So that was in the year 2000. And
Good for them.
So, so we've been here for 24 years at the facility, 7.5 acres. We have a bunch of different buildings. We have the kennel facility. We have an office area. We have our caretaker residence. We have a sanctuary for the senior dogs and for the puppy mill survivors, as well as a bunch of outbuildings and a very large activities and adoption center, which is a 5,600 square foot pole building.
Love it. Yeah, I just said good for them on the owners of the property prior to you owning it. Good for you all and your donors and supporters to do that. You know, the reality is to create a facility like you've created, there's you well know, but the people watching might not. I mean, there's a mountain of ordinances and zoning issues to overcome when you're talking about any kind of rescue operation, let alone the size that you have, the number of dogs you can have, and the 7 acres, I think you said.
Yep, a little over 7 acres.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, so like you found a diamond, not in the rough, but like a diamond ready to go. So it's such a great way to pivot and grab that property and set yourselves up for such long-term success. We are foster failures ourselves, or as you say, successful adoptions. That's where Gizmo and Zeus in our world came to be. And then there's 3 cats that roam the house that are also thorns in my side. They're here.
Well, they actually own the house, I would assume, and you just live there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've heard stories.
Yes. But so, you know, and let's get into the puppy mill thing, because as I was thinking about commenting on all the ordinances and the zoning, you know, it's kind of funny how people doing good, you know, you have to fight those battles, right? And then the puppy mill side of things really doesn't seem to have any issue operating. And unfortunately, Lancaster is great. Lancaster County is great, but we don't have one thing. There's other issues, but we have this stain of being puppy mill capital of the world. So you said Nauman has, was a connection to a breeder, and you were able to make a successful what's the word? Grab, get them, or rescue.
Right.
Rescue. That's the word I'm looking for. Duh. It's right on the screen. Talk to us about that. Talk to us about the puppy mills, how we kind of help to be a part of that solution to hopefully get rid of them someday. And your relationship with them.
Well, that is something, the relationship that we have. And I gotta say, the idea of a puppy mill has kind of, years ago, they would have 5, 10, 14, 20 different breeds of dogs. And that has really scaled down over the years. But now what we deal with are the breeders and backyard breeders of Lancaster County, and working with them. And we have really made some great inroads in the years that we have been working with them, that they will trust us. They will call us when they have dogs like Namen that get too old to sell, or a lot of our dogs, last year, 80% of our rescues were dogs that were retired breeder dogs. So these are dogs that are 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, typically female, that have been used as breeding stock at the breeders, and they retire them now, and they will turn them over to us. So the reason they retire them is maybe they no longer go into heat, or the size of their litters has decreased, things like that. So various reasons. And we're here for those dogs, and they know that. And that's a good thing, because prior to that, it was just another mouth to feed. And at that point, it usually didn't end well for the dog. Let's just put it that way. So now they call us, and these dogs, they're 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. They could have very easily another 6, 7, 8 years of life left in them. And that's where we will work with them, especially in our sanctuary setting, where we teach them how to live in a home. And that's what that building is for. A lot of these dogs come in, if they were lucky, they got to roam the farm with the kids. They're social. And those are the lucky ones. The other ones come in, have had very little human contact, never set foot in a house before. They don't know what a vacuum cleaner is. They don't know what a television is. Turn a dishwasher on. They have no clue what that noise is and what that sound is. So that's where we work with them when we get them into the sanctuary, get them accustomed to the idea of walking on tile, walking on carpet, walking out in the grass. Some of them, if they were in a hutch all their lives, they never set foot on grass. So they don't even know what grass is. So that gets... those are the types of things to do. And what we have found is that our length of stay for those dogs, since we've had the sanctuary, which we established in 2013, our length of stay has gone from about 9 months down to 4 months, because the rehabilitation of those dogs is just happening quicker. And when they get adopted, they are more acclimated to living in a home environment.
Yeah, wonderful. I was going to comment about the hutch thing. Like, it might be weird for people to hear, like, a dog, grass, what? Play in the yard, walk? Yeah, no, some dogs literally will live, depending on the size, in a crate, cage, hutch. That's just enough for them maybe to turn around and do a spin.
Yeah,
right?
the Pennsylvania State has regulations on the size of what it has to be, they're being inspected, and they need to follow those rules and regulations. But yeah, there are some that we get, or they, even if they lived in a horse stall, they have a little more room, but the human interaction for them is just not there. And that's why we have wonderful volunteers as part of our what we call Project Home Life. And that's what we utilize as our basis for the sanctuary. And that's a program that was developed by our resident caretaker who lives on site, Heather Hatt. And she developed that, and she has actually presented at some conferences for other shelters and other humane societies and ARLs and things like that. And that's basically, as we said, it's to teach them how to be a dog and live in a home. And that's what we utilize.
So, John, a new dog comes into the facility. What is the process you go through? I'm assuming you give them some sort of veterinary exam and maybe expand on that process a little bit. What a dog goes through from, like that 0 to 4 months, or that you were talking about there.
Yeah, when we bring them in, typically if we get an owner surrender and they're up to date on all their shots, and they are very social and things like that, they will go right into the general population side of our kennel. If they come from a breeder, or they come from another rescue, we have an isolation side, and we will get them up to date on their shots. So in the state of Pennsylvania, for the breeders, the only requirement is that they administer a rabies vaccine. So the dogs typically do not come in with the distemper, the lepto, the parvovirus vaccines, or anything like that. So we will administer those. We actually have an on-site vet hospital here that we can treat our dogs. We have 4 veterinarians from local hospitals who rotate through on a weekly basis, and we will get the dogs examined. So they have to go through our medical protocol. We get them up to date on any shots. We will do any procedures that they need. So if they need a spay or a neuter, which typically those dogs need a spay when they come to us. If they have any type of lumps or bumps, entropion, we do get some other higher type of surgeries that we do need to do. But all of that is taken care of in our hospital. If there's something, a specialty thing, then we will send them out to a specialist. But they go through the behavioral protocol after that, where we do a behavior assessment on them. Dennis Stauffer, our kennel manager, is a certified dog trainer, and he is certified to do the assessments for behavior. We take care of that. And then we just get them settled into our routine. And once we get through the behavior, the medical protocols, we make them available for adoption. And then typically we'll go up on our website, or if we already have someone who's looking for a dog like that through their adoption application, we'll reach out directly to them. Our adoption team typically does work ahead, and they will reach out and say, hey, we've got a 4-year-old female golden that's good with other dogs. We think she's probably good with kids because she was on a farm with kids. Would you like to come out and meet her? And that's our process.
Wow. You've got some wonderful pups on the screen. I've noticed some of the names. I mean, Kipper and Taffy, if there was never better dog names for a dog, those are just great dog names.
Yep. You'll see a few that aren't quite golden. We call them golden-hearted dogs, but like Cassie, I just saw her scroll past there. There's Jason Willow. They're great dogs. There's a Doodle, Ollie. Ollie's a fun dog too. So we get them all shapes, sizes, colors.
Yep. So the process of adopting, walk through that and walk through what you recommend happens in the first handful, not only of days, but weeks when people bring a new dog home.
Sure. So we are a little bit different than the SPCA ARL, where we do everything by appointment, and you must have an adoption application approved on file with us in order to adopt. And the reason we do that is our adoption application is about 6 pages long, and we're looking to get as much information from potential adopters as we can get. So what type of dog are you looking for? Do you strictly want a golden, or are you open to a doodle or a lab? What age range are you looking for? Do you want a male or a female? Does it need to be good with other dogs? Maybe you have 1 or 2 other dogs in your home. Or is it going to be an only dog? And that's fine too. Those types of that type of information. Do you have a fence? Do you have an electric fence? All of those go into the application process. And then once people are approved, then what we will do is we will try to do our best to match up any dogs we've released for adoption with the people in our database who are looking for that dog in that criteria. I will be honest with you, if you're looking to adopt from us, the wider the criteria, the easier it is for us to get a dog to you. If you are looking for a blonde female, 2 years old, knows its commands, good with kids, good with cats, good with other dogs, get in line because I want that dog. Before,
right.
And we have people like that. We actually, just an anecdotal, we had years ago a woman send in a carpet swatch with her application asking us to match the fur of the dog to her carpet so that she didn't have to vacuum every day. Just telling you.
Wow.
So, and then we have other people that are like, you know what? You're DVGRR. I know your reputation. You guys
Right.
are do what you do for the dogs. I just want a dog from you, and I don't care what it is. I do have another dog, so it's got to be good with another dog. But other than that, that's kind of the process, and that's how we do it. And again, as far as the wider the criteria, the easier it is to adopt to you.
Yep. Yep. And I have a reason for asking, but your approach and your philosophy, maybe we could call them rules or strong recommendations, because obviously, we're dealing with adults here, and once somebody has a dog home, it's not like you're right there behind them watching over their shoulder. But what are the things you recommend to people when they do bring one of your dogs, or really any dog, home from a rescue environment,
Sure.
to transition them in?
So we actually go with what's called the 3-3-3 rule. And that's basically what it amounts to is 3 days, 3 weeks, and 3 months. So give your dog, when you take a dog, whether it's from DVGRR, the ARL, SPCA, when you adopt a dog, you want to give your new dog at least 3 days, because they're trying to figure out where they are, where's the door to go outside, who's in the house, all of those types of things. And then after about 3 weeks, they're going to have that figured out, and they're going to have figured out that they live with you. And then you can start the routine. So the routine of, all right, this is what time we get up. We go out to potty. We have breakfast. Oh, after breakfast, I go in my crate. My owner goes off to work. Oh, good. I see them again at 4:00 in the afternoon. And then I know it's time for a walk. And then I'm going to get dinner and then playtime. Oh, around 10 o'clock. And I'm throwing times in here. Dogs obviously can't tell time, but they get into that routine. And that's it takes 3 weeks. Although my dog's at 4:00 and the food bowl's not down there. They're letting me know. And then it's 3 months. And after 3 months, your dog really has become a part of the family, and they're going to be in the routine, and they're going to have everything pretty well down pat. They're going to know. And you don't want to start the training, sit, stay, all of that stuff in the first 3 days, 3 week time frame. You got to let them adjust. We've often used the example of, picture yourself living in America all your life, and then someone picks you up and drops you into a foreign country where you don't know the language. You don't know where the grocery store is. You have no idea how to get from point A to point B. Think about that time frame.
Yeah.
It's going to take you 3 days to just kind of settle in there. And 3 weeks, you're going to know how to get to work. You're going to know where the grocery store is, what the necessities, the basic necessities. Right. Then after about 3 months, you're going to be ready to explore. You're going to want to go out to the doggy park, to the park. You're going to want to go adventure around and see the sights and things like that. It's the same with a dog. After 3 months, that's when you're looking to go ahead and take them on the trip to Lowe's, or take them to the doggy park, or get them together with other friends that have, or family that have dogs. Give them, it's patience. Patience is the key word.
It is.
Adopt the dog. It really is.
It is. As a rescue family, and just sitting here reflecting as you're sharing that and thinking about our time as a foster home, for a long time we had a third crate in the house, and we had Sid come through and Blue Dog come through, and was it Gus? Guy was one that came through, and then we had Xena. And that's why I wanted you to touch on the 3-3-3 rule. Xena was a rescue, terrible skin, terrible abuse, breeder dog, backyard breeder. Just hit the sad case lottery, the trifecta, right? And it took 9 months for us to get her back to the opportunity to adopt, and then a few more months to find a home. And sadly, the family that adopted just completely threw out that first 3 days rule. And I was getting pictures with the toddlers and food on the sofa. And I'm like, right. And you probably know where this is going. The very next morning, or no, later that night it was, next morning, playing fetch in the yard. And I get a text. I thought you said that she didn't like to play fetch. I said, hey, I don't know. Maybe that's something she found with you, but with me, it wasn't her thing. But understand what's going on. Are you doing that with the other dog in the house? Yeah. Please stop. This is territory. This is backyard. Long story short, they come in from fetch, and there's now a fight between the two dogs because Xena wanted to exert her space. In the scuffle, one of the kids got bit, one of the parents got bit, and unfortunately, no rescue can now rehabilitate that dog for all the reasons. They just can't. And we had to put Xena down, and it was just so terrible. Yeah. And that word patience is so important with this.
Right. And the last thing that we want to do is set a dog up for failure. And that's what you were looking at. That's a perfect example of what you just gave of setting a dog up for failure. And the other thing we have to stop doing is attaching our human emotions to dogs. Oh, she probably feels so sad. She can't do this. She can't do it. No, that's our feeling we're portraying onto the dogs. Dogs live in the moment. That's all they do. They don't know any different. I was just at a conference in May, and that was one of the things they stressed was dogs don't have the feelings. They have feelings. Don't get me wrong. They have feelings, but not the human feelings that we attach to them. They live in the moment. We take dogs on outings here, take them out to different places, go for walks, things like that. And people are like, well, but then the dog has to go back into the kennel at your facility. And the dog doesn't care. They're having a great time out on their
walk. That's my house.
Right. They're going back home. They're just, but when they're out, they're living in the moment. Hey, there's a new bush to pee on. That's great. I love it. That's their thought process. They're not moping around like we go on vacation, and by Monday, we're already thinking about, I got to drive home on Saturday and all the traffic and this and that. And you still have 5 days of vacation left to enjoy. But we're too stupid to do that and live in the moment. We're already fretting about what's happened in 5 days from. Dogs are not like that. They just love the moment and where they're at and what they're doing. And I mean, to me, I've often said, I'm trying to live more like my dogs do, live in the moment.
Yeah. Well, and I think, Ben, maybe you can want to chime in. We attach our emotions, but we forget, okay, so the dog, maybe you're in that 3 week to 3 month stage where the dog is in their crate, right? As a safety thing, get used to the other dog in the house thing. We forget the dog's in a crate in your home, safe, temperature controlled. So AC in the summer right now and heat in the winter, not in the elements. They were fed today, good food. They're in a crate that's big enough. Fur's clean. All of that is you're providing a wonderful environment, right, for your pet.
Yeah. Think about if all you had to do was lay around in bed and get fed and sleep and not have to go to work. Sign me up for that.
Terrible. That sounds terrible. Awful.
Yeah.
Hey, John, I wanted to know a little bit more about the facility there. Like the capacity you have, the amount of dogs you can have there, how many you have there now for adoption. I know a lot of times you hear of rescues being overcrowded and there's a real need to get dogs into good homes. What's your situation now? So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Sure. So we are allowed per the township, which Jeff had alluded to earlier. We're allowed to have 65 dogs on average through the year on site. Our population goes up and down. It fluctuates. We had a wonderful May. We had 40 adoptions done in May. So
that's great.
That really dropped our population a bit, but we do have, we had about a dozen waiting to come in. So we filled those kennels without any trouble. We can have that many on site at one time. We currently have, I think there's about 52. And of those, I think about 25 to 30 of them are available for adoption. The others are currently going through the behavioral and medical protocol. If people are interested, I'm going to put a plug in real quick for our open house, which is the second Saturday of every month. It's the only day that we are technically open to the public during the month. Even if you're not an approved adopter, you're welcome to come out, take a look at the facility. I give a tour. You can see the types of dogs we have available. You can talk to our staff members. And it'll be actually this Saturday coming up. The 13th is our next open house. So if anyone is interested, and it's a great way too, if someone's not sure they want to actually put an application in or they want to go through with DVGRR, come out and talk to us, come out and see us, come out and see what we're about. As I said, it's the one day a month that we are open to the general public.
And what time of day is that? Is that in the morning?
That's from 10 until 12. And we stick to that time frame. The dogs come out at 10. Yeah. And by noon, we're taking them in because it's a bit of a stressful day for the dogs because it is different than their routine, which dogs are.
I was just going to comment on routine.
Yep. It's a little bit out of their routine, but they do well. And if somebody's stressing, we'll excuse them from open house and we'll take them back into the kennel. So we don't force them to stay out, but it's from 10 to 12. And then we do get them in promptly at 12 o'clock. So if you show up at 11:55, you're going to be a little late to the party.
Now, if you were an approved adopter and you went to that open house, can you walk away with a pet or no? If
you are in contact with Zach Morgan, who is our adoption manager, and what he can do ahead of time is if he knows you're coming to our open house, we can set up a potential adoption. And you're probably what you're doing is you're coming to see a specific dog there that he's already given you information about. You can then have an adoption appointment following our open house. And if it all works out, they can go home that day.
That's very cool.
Dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think sadly, what the last 4 years have taught us is that, pets are a lifetime commitment. It doesn't matter if they're a golden, a retriever, a lab, if they're a mix, a mutt, something, a rescue case, even a cat, they are a commitment for the life of that animal. And, so I think intentionally your process is designed to weed out those that are unpatient would be
correct.
It would be the word I would use, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for somebody that is committed to this process because you need commitment to the animal.
Absolutely. And the other thing too is the way our process works with the application, with coming out and seeing the dog. And the other thing that we require is if you have a dog in your house and you're looking to adopt from us, we do a meet on our property. You're required to bring the dog along. We have the dogs meet on neutral ground so that we have a yard that is never used by our dog. So it's neutral territory to them. It's obviously neutral territory to your dog if you're coming here. And we do what's called a dog match. And if everything goes well, that's the other thing that the adoption team will monitor as we go through it. But my point on that was the way we do it, our return to program is less than 1%. So when we adopt dogs out, it's less than 1% that have to come back to us because it didn't work out. I attribute that to the process that we have, tried and true, as well as our adoption team members who know what to look for and know what to expect and to see that it's going to be a good match.
Yep. So you do your open houses the second Saturday of each month. I saw on the screen we have a golf outing coming up in about 3 or 4 weeks.
We do. August 2nd at Fox Chase, right in Denver there, or Stevens, I guess. So in Lancaster County, it's a great event. It includes lunch, it includes dinner. We got a lot of great door prizes and other things we do. The closest to the pin, the longest drive, all of those contests, fun things. It's a great time. Last year we had 110 golfers, so that was great. We do shotgun start at 1:00. I think we're up to close to 68 right now. So I'm hoping that we get about another 10 foursomes or so come rolling in the next couple of weeks. But it's a great event. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, we just have a great time.
And I see each foursome gets a retriever caddy. Is that what this picture's showing?
Boy, I wish that would be paid. No,
that would be something.
We give everybody carts. We let them have carts. But
all right.
If you have dogs there, I will tell you that. Whenever we can get a dog out, we will. I was going to ask
if any of the dogs made an appearance.
Yeah, we just got to watch if we get a wayward golf ball that nobody takes off trying to chase it down. That's all we got to watch out for.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good one. Like, this hole, we have a chase dog. This dog loves chasing golf balls. So it's your drive plus whatever the dog carries it to the pin.
Right.
If I could just get one to drop it in the hole, I'd be golden then.
That would be like fantastic. Like, you know how they sell mulligans?
Yes.
Yeah.
right? Like you buy the dog chasing the ball and dropping it, and like, there's a lottery, and if it drops it in the cup, you win the jackpot. Like you can have a whole thing right here with this.
Years ago, we had an adopter who was a big golfer. He named his Golden Mulligan, which I thought was a great name.
Perfect.
Oh, that's a good dog name. 100%.
It is a great dog. And we still have, I think, till July 12th. So if there's any businesses out there, I'm going to make another plug here, guys. Looking for T-Box sponsors, of course. So if you're interested and you'd like to, it's $100 for a T-Box sponsor. And as I said, we get a lot of people out there. So by all means, if you're interested, I think it's till July 12th, you have to get those in. So we will be there we go. Due by July 12th. First, be a sponsor. So if anybody's out there, by all means, let us know.
Love it.
John, obviously you need funding to do what you do there. Obviously that's a big need for your organization there. But what are some of the other needs of DVGRR?
To be honest with you, funding is the biggest thing. We are 100% donor funded. We receive no government funding. We all the grants that are out there, every single SPCA, ARL, every rescue is trying to get their hands on those grants and things like that. And our budget is extremely high. So that's, as I say, this hair is gray. We've got an awesome development manager in Inza Adams. She is just amazing with her ideas and things like that. And she's responsible for keeping this organization going. And I couldn't do what I do without her. But the other needs are things for the dogs. So besides that, cheese, hot dogs. We have a wish list out there that we keep updated. Blankets. We can always use towels and blankets. No comforters. The dogs, for some reason, they just love to tear those things to shreds, and then we got a mess to clean up.
Yeah, then your vet bills go up, and
especially when they start eating them and things like that. So, but on our wish list, we have it out there, and if anybody is wants to, peanut butter is another thing. We go through tons and tons of peanut butter. We use it for pills. We use it to put in biscuits for nap time snacks, things like that, and bedtime snacks. So it's all that stuff is out on our website, and I invite people, if you go out on our website, most of the information with regard to us and our needs is out there.
Love it. Love it.
I think a peanut butter nap or peanut butter with a nap is a fantastic idea. And I will be adopting that, no pun intended, from this show.
And then stick me in the crate, shut the door, and let me sleep, and I'm good to go.
Love it. Love it. So if you have any of those things, John, the other thing, we've done this a handful of times over the years. My wife has MS, and there's been times where the at-home treatment kit for steroid treatment has excess saline and heparin and, alcohol swabs. You take those kinds of donations for the vet side of things.
Bet, absolutely. They go right back to our vet center too. And, not to be a downer, but if someone does have to put their dog to sleep, euthanize their dog, and they have leftover medicine, food, things like that, by all means, let us know. The medicine, like carprofen, is a universal pain medicine, and we can always use those donations as well. And that's just less that we have to purchase and spend the money on, which we can then use on the dogs in other ways. So by all means, yes, if somebody has some leftovers from their dog or whatever, and they don't need them anymore, we'll gladly take them.
Yeah, fantastic. John, this has been a pleasure. Love talking with you. Love your heart and the mission there at the rescue, Delaware Valley Golden Retriever Rescue, DVGRR.org. Yep. Yes, .org. So please check them out. As we always say, if you're connected to what they're doing, connected to the dogs, you want to help, it comes down to your time, your talent, and your treasure. Obviously, all of our great guests we have on will love your donations. So that's the treasure. Talents, reach out, and I'm sure on your website you have like opportunities to volunteer.
We do.
That's your time and treasure. So if you're a graphic designer, if you're good at writing grants, I'm sure they would love to have a conversation there. If you just have time and there's opportunity to donate time to them, connect with them on the site and get linked up. But love everything you're doing. Thanks for all the work for the dogs.
Thanks. Appreciate you having us. And don't forget the Extra Give coming up in November in Lancaster County. That's one of our biggest days. So we're out there, and we appreciate the support on that too.
I think you're one of the biggest recipients during that, aren't you?
We have been typically in the top 10, yes, of the Extra Give.
That's great.
And it's usually a great day for us, and we appreciate the support. Again, couldn't do it without our donors and supporters and the great people of Lancaster County. So appreciate that.
It's fantastic.
Love it.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Really do
You're
appreciate
welcome.
your time.
John, thank you for your time. Thank you again for all you do for the dogs there. Thanks.
You're welcome. No problem. Thank you.
You got a few minutes for a connection cocktail? We
sure.
got
Hit me with it.
We got to know John a little bit, but man, let's dig in.
We'll dig in. All right. You want to go first?
I'll go first. Sure.
The hard question.
So this was a pet friendly show, right? So what are some of your favorite pet friendly activities right here in Lancaster?
Pet friendly activities in Lancaster. That getting to the dog parks is always fun. Lancaster Barnstormers, when they have take your dog to the park day, that's always a fun one. Those types of things. Any of the restaurants in Lancaster that have the patios that allow you to take your dogs, and obviously, look, folks, be honest with yourself. If your dog is well behaved or not well behaved, you know it. So don't subject other diners to your dog that's jumping on the table and begging for food and things like that. So, but those
makes
always
sense.
Yeah. I love our dogs. Our dogs are fantastic. They're great with people. We have a new dog sitter coming on vacation. We're going to just do a little quick meetup tonight at 5. I have zero issue with a new person in our home, but I will not take our dogs out to other areas. So, yes, great reminder for people. On the note of vacations, do you have any interesting vacations or time this summer planned or maybe had already?
No, actually, I haven't. My wife just retired from teaching. She's been teaching for 36 years. And she finally pulled the trigger on that. She's retiring from teaching, not from the workforce, because we still have one son in college. So this year is kind of the transition year of how much money are we going to be bringing in? How much are we not? And so the vacation has kind of been put on the back burner for this year.
Gotcha. Which school did she teach at or retire from?
She was at the Wilson School District in Berks County, Spring Ridge Elementary School.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. My youngest plays football there and he goes to school there and is on the football team.
He just shows up for football.
That's my kind of school.
Dad's just didn't totally show my cards on priorities there, did I?
All right, John, last question. Yeah. Favorite hobby or passion outside of work?
Favorite passion? I am a huge football fan. And it's the next to my family and my dogs is the biggest love of my life. So I love to support. Believe it or not, I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I am not a Philadelphia.
That was the next question.
I was holding my breath.
I'm a Packers fan, a Penn State fan, and I'm an alumni of Lebanon Valley College. So anytime I can in the fall, get a chance rather to get up and see a game there. I'm up there supporting those guys because it's Division III. I get that, but those guys are playing for the love of the game, like I did, and I think it's even more important at that level. So to show support, so I would say that is my biggest passion.
Yeah. Cool. Well, you know what? For anybody, this is a totally not out of left field, question or statement, but these D3 and D2 schools, you're seeing more kids with more talent get there to play because of the transfer portal.
Yeah,
it's changing things, and so if you got a local college and you want to catch a game, you might see some pretty incredible talent that you didn't expect to see.
And you're seeing a lot of guys that are a lot bigger than I was when I played in college. That are
we're growing one of them right now.
Yeah. Yep. 6'3", 285 is not unheard of for a D3 offensive lineman. And years ago, that was a 5-star D1 recruit. So I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, I have a 16-year-old that's almost that right now. So
I do not want to help you with your food bill. I'm telling you that right now.
You don't.
Whose food bill is more, Gizmo or?
Oh, Aiden's.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Maybe if you could slip some kibble into his food.
That's a fantastic idea. See if he notices.
That's right. Yeah, he would notice. Gosh, he would notice. Dad, this isn't the right rice. Oh, I'm sorry. We got the 25-pound bag of white rice and not basmati rice. We'll do better next time. Sorry.
I get it.
So, Anyway, John, man, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you again for everything you do for the dogs, and would just appreciate everything you're doing here in the county for us.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys doing this. This was fun. This was my first podcast. I hope I passed the muster on it. And
you did great.
All right. Appreciate that. So you guys have a wonderful day. And again, thanks for having us, and appreciate all you guys do for Lancaster County.
Thank you. Thank you,
John.
Always fun to talk about dogs. Fun things to do in Lancaster. Football came up. John didn't say that the team that no one wants to hear, Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
He didn't say that, so that was great.
And there was an animal on
we would have
screen.
just kicked him off if he said he was a Cowboys fan. I'm just kidding. Maybe not. Anyway, yeah, we got the dog on. Naman was on. What a great looking dog. So check out DVGRR if you would like to adopt a dog. Obviously, they have a process, which every animal rescue does. And they just want to ensure success with you and your new pet in the home. Check out everything they're doing. Again, if you have time, if you have some talents that you think they could use, and of course, money, they always will take money, and they need it because they're doing great work. So check them out, dvgrr.org. Everything there. My sleep better tip would be to think about your pillow. You know, we've kind of gone back and forth on that over time. And I just had to change out my pillow last night. I actually have 3 pillows bedside. And, you know, the way you used your body in the day might change the way you need support in your neck and the way things feel. Maybe it just wears out. Maybe you have to change sleeping positions because you hurt a shoulder and you sleep on your side. Now you have to sleep on your back. That's going to change the pillow. It's a third of the vertebrae in your spine. It supports all the weight of your head. It's the only part of your mattress that supports the weight of your head, which is about 10 pounds on average. And so, you know, the pillow conversation is very important because the wrong one can impact how you feel entirely and the entire quality of your sleep. So always keep that in focus, and we'll send you our Sleep Better book to help you with that focus on the pillow, as well as everything else related to sleep. Just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better, and we'll mail you out a copy right away.
My pillow makes a big difference. I just switched out my pillow. I took one of the new bed gear pillows home with the shoulder cut out.
I did the same thing.
And
that's the one I switched to.
I'll admit the first week did not go well. I'm like, I like my old pillow. And then I went on vacation, came back, and I was like, I got to get used to this new pillow. And I love it. I like it better than my old pillow. It just took a little time, you know? So I do love the shoulder cutout. That's quite nice. All right. Testimonial time. Got a handwritten testimonial here that came in. Drew was this person's, Susan's salesperson. Drew is floating around here somewhere. Susan said, Drew was the best salesperson. He is polite, listened to my concerns, and answered all my questions. And she goes on to say, my experience was totally satisfying and would highly recommend stopping into your store. And I give Drew an A+. So he gets a gold star for the day.
Like that.
Give him a gold star. So thank you, Susan. That was a testimonial for Gardner's Mattress and More, the business with which we sit inside and allows us to produce this great show.
Yep, that's right. We're over 500 reviews now.
So cool. It's really cool to see.
I have my suspicions again that Google's playing some games, and it might be a bigger number.
That's right.
More to follow.
Like a year ago, we found 30 or 40 reviews that were just hidden arbitrarily.
Yeah. Either way, not to take away from the 512 people who have taken their time and shared their comments with others, but we appreciate all of them. But if 30 or 40 have taken the time and we can't see it and we can't reply to it, I want to know that, because we reply to every one of those.
Absolutely.
To thank people. So we're always grateful for those reviews.
Do you see the battle that's going on backstage?
I've kind of seen it.
It didn't trigger when he said Green Bay Packer fan. So producer Chris is a Detroit Lions fan, and they're going back and forth now backstage. So we avoided the Cowboys.
I'll just, there's only one team in the NFC that matters, and that's the Eagles.
Okay.
It's all I'll let those
Shots fired.
I'll let those teams figure it out. It's like that meme where you got like, it's like old colonial Shakespearean times, and you got the one guy looking down upon everybody and then the other people to the side. Well, that's me with that Eagles,
Rest of the NFC.
everybody else. So that's that.
Now Chris is firing back.
Now we have some firing back. We won't make this any longer.
That was in the past, Chris.
It's in the past. You know, it's fine.
2024.
That's right. It's this season. Yeah. So anyway, this has been another fun one with Lancaster Connects. Thank you for allowing us to be in your home, be in your ears, be on your screen, wherever you're watching and taking this in. We always appreciate doing this show. We had a great one with John, Executive Director at Delaware Valley Golden Retriever Rescue, where they do great work. Check them out, dvgrr.org, and all the great things they're doing. And I guess we'll see you next week on Lancaster Connects. Take care.